Hey guys, it's Ann, and it's time to show you my living room. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. Now we've got kind of a glare here, so you're gonna have to excuse that. There's a lot of light shining in the windows right now. But here's my living room. Take a good look. And then I will show you all the little details that make it what it is. Including the dogs. So why don't we start right over here with the mantle. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know I have not changed the mantle for a little while. All I did this fall was put those 3 pumpkins up there. That is it. When I decorated this mantle, I decided I really liked it, and there was no need to change what is working. I don't have to be a slave to the seasons, and for some reason, I'm not bored with it. So until I'm bored, it's gonna stay the way it is. Makes it so much easier for me, especially because I have such a big house to decorate. Now this really works because you've got a lot of wood, a lot of warmth, you've got enough white, enough contrast in there to make it interesting. And look at all the texture. There's a lot of texture going on in there. So it makes it very interesting. The variation of height, the odd number of items, it's just really kind of perfect. So it stays the way it is. And underneath it is that wood stove and that little dog who likes to sit in the wood stove when it's going. And of course, it's about 80 degrees today, so we don't have the wood stove going. And then next to it is a leather firewood carrier. And just an old, I don't even know what to call that, but it's where we keep all our matches and stuff. Just something to hide the utilitarian part of the fireplace. Next to that, we have a closet. And usually I keep this closet closed and keep it full of storage stuff, and it looks junky. But every once in a while, I open the closet up and decorate it because I like the open shelves. I like the way the door looks. This is a color that was in this house years and years ago, and I'm just leaving it. Sometimes I leave the former colors just to wink at history. And I decorated it. Now, I don't have a lot of collections. I do have some bottles that were here when this was the Russian bear, so I've used those bottles. I have a couple of crocks, and of course I have all these near and dear to my heart ancestry photos. And then I just put some blankets in there. I had to store them anyway, so I thought, why not fold them, put them in there, gives it a feeling of warmth. And down there is nothing but an old galvanized steel tub and a wreath. That's actually a cotton wreath, not just cotton. And then an old photograph. So a lot of fun. Next to it is, I like this thing. Next to it is this sled that I picked up last year at Christmas, and why not use it year round? It's old and it's primitive, and it's got wood and color, and it works. This is a darling little pillow that Karen brought me. I love it. It's a wonderful little thing, and I treasure that. And then I just have some candles and lanterns and all that kind of stuff that make up a primitive home. This is the trunk that my great-grandfather owned, and my aunt left me, and I really love that trunk. And then this is an Amish-made rocking chair that I've had probably for 25 years, and it stays in perfect shape. It's super comfortable. I never get tired of it, and it's rustic. So I'm always pairing the rustic with the primitive. I picked this up at Michael's last spring, if you remember in some of my older videos, and I fill it with candles, and I got this really nice little leafy pattern garland at Woodstock Country Shop, and it was perfect. It's on a school desk, is left to me with the house. So I pair everything new and old, as long as it's rustic, primitive looking, woven, organic, it makes the cut. Well, there's my little cords under there for my computer. That's my one not clean part about the room, but this is just a really great sofa. I love this thing, and I bought it pretty much brand new, secondhand, and got a good deal and really value it. More lanterns. I love big clock faces. I just think they add so much to a room. They're more of a Pottery Barn kind of look, but why can't you pair it with primitive? And underneath it are more family ancestry pictures, which again, I treasure. I love this lantern light. Isn't that just so cool? I got this at Woodstock Country Shop too. And I love the way that lantern is. It's called an innkeeper's light. Really cool. And it's on this table that my cousin gave me. It's kind of an old trunk, safe, ice chest kind of thing. Now I had a nail right there on the door, and I just threw this sconce up there, and no, it's not centered, and it doesn't matter. It looks a little bit haphazard, but it's fine. I mean, I think it's great. This picture is so cool, I think. I picked that up one day at Bernat Antiques, and I really love it. I don't even know if it's staged or real, but I love it. I love the frame. And underneath here, I've got an old ladder back chair. So here is the TV cabinet that Tom made me. And it stays very clean and keeps that big old TV from being a center point in my primitive looking house. Last year I picked up this wall lamp and I really like it. And it goes right on the wall. And I had this shade and I just stuck it on there. And it's just a great way to add some light without having to have a table or a floor lamp. Here's another ladder back chair. Right now there's a pumpkin pillow on it. I don't know how it ended up there, but that's where it is. And then in this room, I added a rug. I had this rug for this room quite a while ago. It's been sitting in the barn. So I decided to take it back out and just warm up the room. I like to bring the rugs in the winter and take the rugs out in the summer. And this is a nice little round table from my friends Doug and Paul, and I will be showing you their home soon. It's not primitive, but it's worth a look because they've got a lot of design elements in there. A leather wingback chair. That ends up being Tom's chair. We all sit in the same place when we watch TV. Cammie sits on the red chair. Tom sits on the wingback chair. And we've got another beautiful primitive lamp. And this sits on an old school desk that was in the barn when we moved in, and I just dragged it into the house. And this crock is from my cousin Elaine. I don't know where she found it, but she brought it over the other day and I thought it was perfect. Now, this table is not old and it doesn't even look old, but it was the right size, and sometimes you use what you have, and it's okay to mix and match. I say this all the time, but you don't have to be a slave to a style. The color is good, the size was good, and frankly, I didn't feel like grabbing it and taking it over to the barn and figuring out where to put it. So I decided it would work in this room. This is about real life. We don't have to stage it all the time. Then just a few fall elements. Photographs of my dear ancestors, my great grandpa, my grandma, and my grandpa and grandma. And I picked up this a while ago at Woodstock Country Shop, and we just leave it by the door. And oh, that's where the brushes are. And Cammie leaves some of her stuff in when she comes, and it just keeps it cleaner, because else all that stuff was just ending up on the shelf, and that drove me crazy. And this is an old box that was left in the house for firewood, and I've usurped it, and I have old pictures in there. So I want to take you out here a little bit just to see our hallway, because Henry, also known as Jack, is here, and he's standing here holding some pretty flowers that he's pulled out of the garden, maybe some nice tansy, and at his feet are some gourds, and right next to him is the Velveteen Rabbit. He said you become, it takes a long time, that's why it doesn't happen often to people who break easily or have sharp edges or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out, or you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand. And don't we all feel that way sometimes? I know I do lately. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.